Hey guys, what's up? Hope everybody's doing good. Hold on 1 second, guys. Hold on for 1 second for me. I am live. Thank you. You guys there? We got real life going on. Sorry about that, guys. If I busted anybody's eardrum. But yeah, I got real life going on in the background here a little bit. Sorry about that. But yeah, so we will go ahead and get moving. We'll get crack-a-lacking here. Yeah, so I just want to give you guys an update. I'm hoping to keep this one a little bit short. I may end up coming back on a little bit later to keep you guys updated on what's going on. And I got a few things I want to talk about anyway that I'm going to be bringing up anyway. We are definitely going to, MJ Mama, we're going to definitely get some Aurora on Halloween. 100% chance of all that, let me tell you. And we'll get into that in just a second. But just like earlier, guys, yes, we had an X flare. Okay. Now notice what's all happening here. Okay. Not only do we have the X-ray production, and yes, this is really at the bottom of the X class. Okay. We got an X1 is what we're dealing with here. But notice that now, remember the proton flux that I talk about every once in a while? This one hardly ever moves unless we get the bigger flares. Well, this one moved. Okay. And what this is this is a radiation storm. So we're into S1 level radiation storm. Got an X-class flare. We have a CME heading this way, which is going to hit on the 31st. So, just got to let you know. Thanks, Todd. I appreciate you. Really do. Guys, I just want to say one thing here real quick. Thank you guys for trying to lift my spirits a lot here in the past couple videos. I do appreciate it. And yes, it does help. So, just so you know. And again, we're going to be talking about some of that subject matter anyway. About, why I was upset anyway. I'm not going to talk about why I was upset, but I'm going to talk about the subject around it. And we'll get into that. So, but anyway, we got us a radiation storm to deal with right now. It's still continuing. It's not, and what's going on here? We got a lot of, yeah, our ionosphere is pretty excited right now. Yeah, it is, Garrison. And what's going on here? It's shot out so much that it's going to hang around. At least the proton flux will. It's just an increase in protons is what that's showing you. But we also got the increase in X-ray. But the X-ray are going to kind of hang around a little bit too as it absorbs in, right? But this is not going to go away anytime soon as far as, having to deal with stuff. It's not very often that I've shown you guys that we've had more than one of these boxes ticked. This here's radio blackout. Now, we're not there right now. The biggest part of a radio blackout typically happens within the first hour. Okay? And then after that, it starts waning down. Notice, this is 24-hour maximum. This is latest observed. So right now, currently, there are no radio blackouts. Okay, so it really tapers off pretty quick when it comes to that. But what happened was you get a delayed effect with the protons arriving. And then you get the radiation part of it. Okay, then now we got to talk about the plasma, which is the geomagnetic storm. Okay, obviously we're low geomagnetic activity right now. We have been for a while, which is why I wasn't even really too concerned about updating everybody because there really wasn't much going on. And then I tell you what, when we started getting, and here's the other thing I want to point out. Remember this one up here I showed you guys in the past couple videos? Everything was just like firing like rapid, like bam, 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 right? Well, the flare came from down here. Everybody was kind of looking at this one. This sunspot here is the one I told you guys that had the weird polarity. And I called it weird because they were thinking about splitting it into two, but because of its characteristics, they kept it as one. I think Matthew Shipley was trying to explain that here in the chat too. He did a pretty good job of that. If you guys don't know who Matthew Shipley is, I recently found him and I would encourage you guys to go over to his channel and check out that. It's a 24-hour feed, and he shows just the data here. Okay, and he does it in a really cool way with graphics. This here's on there. He has these little spacemen and stuff in astronaut suits floating around. But yeah, so let's back this up just a little bit, and let's go down here. Now, I want you guys to see something. You guys see this? We haven't seen this in a while. Now, we call this snow, and what it is it's the charged particles from this X flare that just, when it gets to the equipment on the satellite, this is how it represents it. So you can see how it started upticking here a little bit. And then when the protons arrived, watch what happens. Look at that. Wham. See how fast that happened? Okay, you get, this is the zoomed out version. This is on SOHO, which is about 1 million miles closer to the sun than what we are. So if you grab this and you grab the slide bar and you go through here, this is definitely a halo CME. It didn't really halo up this far, but honestly, the size or the width of it is not really the biggest concern. The bigger concern is when it has more of a compacted hit zone. That means the plasma is more concentrated. So, you don't have to have a halo to get a big hit, but this is a halo. Make no mistake. So, yeah, yeah, Garrison. Yeah, you know, I'm here, man. So, but yeah, so you see how, look at all that, right? And this is just how the camera interprets all this energy hitting it. The charged particles are hitting this equipment. That's what it does. And sometimes, it'll almost make it look like it's completely whited out. Not like flat white. You can definitely see where it looks like specks everywhere. But it gets worse than this. So, what I would say, guys, is, this is a big deal, okay? This isn't like catastrophic or anything. I don't think we're going to lose power or anything like that. After looking at some of the data and trying to look at it and give my opinion on that, I don't think that's going to happen. Now, I can't rule anything out at all, okay? Because we simply just don't know 100%. We can just give an educated guess to it. If you want to call me educated. I don't know if you do or not, but, that is what it is. But, so let's go down here. Now, I know I've shown you guys the absorption here before, right? This is the one we look at when we see flares fire off. So let me put that in motion, and I want to explain a couple things here as this thing moves on. Notice how that's a flare. There's the big X-class flare right there. You see how it went off the charts up here? Okay. So let me grab this slide bar. Now watch what happens. The X-rays are dissipating, and then look. Wham. What happened there? You guys know what happened there? That's when the protons arrived. That's the radiation storm. Okay? And you're going to see it's going to be mostly on the polar regions, which is typical because, our protection from anything in space is a lot less on the poles. Okay? So as we keep moving here, you're going to see what happens as the flare dies off. Look what's going on. I mean, this is some pretty good, ionization going on in our atmosphere here. This is decent. It's not like a massive radiation storm or anything, but it's, yeah. So notice how all this stuff stayed up here. It's because all this stuff is in our atmosphere right now. And we are, obviously Earth is handling it. But this is what we look at, and this is what we look for. Because we're just in an S1 is what they call it, radiation storm. So let's do this real quick. Let me go and we'll get, we're going to go look at the CME too on seeds here in just a second. Because the coronagraph really shows a pretty good picture of it. But the radio blackouts I went over earlier, we were at a R3, which does cause problems. Okay? You guys can read that if you want. We dropped down to an R1 by the time I got on my first stream today. But we're no longer even there. We're lower than that. We're pretty much, the radio blackout part of this is done unless we get another flare. So, hey Gina, what's up? Hey Tan Tan, the Major, what's up? The headache and the fatigue, yes, there is some medical links there, guys, but, you know, I can't say 100% that was exactly what would be causing something like this. No sheeple. It's talking about La Palma, any microcoronal mass ejection from the dark through the sun onto the Earth in elliptical orbit. Oh, you talking about Terrell Blackstar? Yeah. Yeah, I don't really have an opinion on that, so I'll just let that go. I really don't at all. Really. It's, yeah, I don't, yeah, we'll just let that go. If anything would cause La Palma to act up, it would be an X-class flare. That's what I would say. But, and we see it coming. It's coming. So, but anyway, solar radiation right here. Right now we're at an S1, so there is no biological concerns. In other words, we ain't got nothing to worry about for our bodies. Satellite operations, none, right? It's not going to affect the satellites at this level. Other systems, minor impacts on high-frequency radio in the polar regions. That's the biggest thing, guys. Okay, so this radiation storm that we're getting is still at a low level. Now, if we get another flare, which is very possible, you can't, I mean, we got, and we're going to go look at that. Matter of fact, let's go look at that now. We're going to look at the sunspots, because these sunspots, yeah. Now, last week, guys, all of these sunspots, not all of them, but the majority of them were on the backside. And I know I didn't do too many videos, but they were firing stuff off the backside left and right. And then when this one up here, you know, crested the limb, then I was like, man, we got to talk about this, right? So, and when I talked to you guys earlier today, remember I said I couldn't see this thing missing us with the CME? And guys, it's not. This thing is not going to miss us. This is coming right at us. I've never been more confident about saying that than what I am right now. So, yeah. What you saying there, Sheeple? Let me see what you got. So, Leisure, I understand and respect this channel, okay? With 25 years of evidence and science discovery, I respect. Cool. Yeah. Yeah, we don't. Yeah. All good, man. All good. Yeah. So, yeah, we try not to. My moderators have been instructed, Sheeple, just to let you know. He's just trying to do what he thinks is right there. We don't really try to drop people's links in there. And they usually will ask me before they do that. Which, it's not a big deal, okay? He's just trying to do what's right. I don't think he's, yeah. But yeah, so anyway, yeah, and it's okay to guys. You guys can have different opinions. We all know this. This is what we talk about, right? And it's okay. It's okay to have that discourse. Oh, okay. Well, you know, it's okay. I got you, Leisure. It's okay. I mean, honestly, I mean, he can, you know, I don't, like I said, guys, I don't really have an opinion on the Black Star theory that Terrell subscribes to and did a lot of research on. I'm not going to, you know, I don't really know enough about it, to be honest with you. I haven't really looked into it enough. I've looked into it enough to know that, you know, I don't know that that's actually what's going on. But again, that's just my opinion, right? And I respect everybody else's. And just to kind of sum that up for a second, I would say, you know, like I said, guys, Leisure ain't doing nothing wrong there either. He's trying to do what he thinks is right by me. So just know that. Nobody's trying to take shots at anybody or anything. So please don't be offended. I mean, that's not what we're trying to do. But anyway, as you got this CME popping off here, and it definitely, wow. See that? That's solid plasma, guys. I mean, that is coming our way. So let's take a look at the X-Class flare here. And this is on Soho, right? This thing shows it really well here on the end. This is the one that's out about 1 million miles closer to the sun than what we are. And yeah, you definitely can see it. So yeah, look at that, guys. I mean, that's just amazing. I think it's cool. And I do think, you know, this, out of anything that we've talked about lately on the as far as flares, coronal mass ejections, this is the most significant one we've reported on in years. Okay, and why I say that is because you got all three components here coming together at once. You've got you got the flare, you got the radiation storm, you got the radio blackouts, and now we have a geomagnetic storm heading our way because of this CME. Okay? And it all happened in an instant. And this is what I'm trying to tell everybody. That, listen, anything can happen on the sun anytime at once. We don't have to wait or wonder. It just happens. It's going to do what it wants. We're not going to stop it. Now, there are clues that we can look at and see if we can kind of guess when things are going to start to happen. Because as we get closer and closer to solar maximum, which we're heading that way now, we're a few months shy of 2 years into the new solar cycle. Okay, so as we start ramping up, it's going to ramp up really fast. And then it's going to peak. And then then it'll actually comes down quite quickly too. So just so you know. But that's what we got to look forward to, and this is just the beginning of it. Now, the other X-Class flare I showed you guys the other few months back, remember, it was on the side. It wasn't even facing us. And we still got X-Class X-ray from that. So this lets you know that, hey, man, this one's right in front. It's coming at us. We're not dodging this one. Sorry, guys. This is not going to happen. And it's like I say multiple times, it's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when. This is not something that isn't not expected, okay? Because it is. These kinds of events are expected. These things are in a cycle. These things happen. So, yeah. I mean, it really was. So, yeah. But we will go on to the next graph here, or the next tool here. Unfortunately, stereo, there it goes. Okay, it's starting to show that CME. This wasn't there a few minutes ago. So it stopped at 1500. Now this is our side view, guys. Okay, and it's not even directly on the side anymore. It's actually closer to us than what it was to 90 degrees now. And what I mean by that, the satellite's here where my cursor is. Earth is over here. Okay, so yeah, it's coming our direction. I mean, everything is pointing that way. And let me show you this too. I didn't have this one pulled up because it draws too much frame, but this is NASA's. Oh my gosh, it already updated. Daggone it. That makes me mad. The X-Class flare, or the big CME, was on here. Okay? I would bet you that somebody else has shown this on their channel already. I'll try to find it later on. But this thing is hitting us right on the nose, man. I mean, it's like right in the middle. So what's happened here is we had another small CME that this tool picked up on. Okay? That's what it is. Now, I tend to trust the NOAA model better. Okay? And what I mean by that... Oh, man. Did I do that for real? Did I do that for real? I did. Guys, hold on a second. Sorry. Sorry about that. Daggone. Let's just get this back up here then. How about that? There we go. Sorry about that, guys. Did not mean to do that. Let me see what I got. You guys got me back on there, right? Somebody give me a 5 for 5. Yeah, Pamela. Yeah. Okay, cool. Thanks, guys. Thanks for your patience. I'm sorry about that. I didn't mean to. I hit the X button instead of the minimize. Now I got to pull these things up individually. That really stinks. But anyway, we'll go down here, and this is the NOAA model. Now this one hasn't updated yet, so I'm not even going to run it for you. Okay, this here is not that X flare. We're going to get a double tap pretty much. They're talking about a sideways glancing blow from a CME that happened a few days ago. Was supposed to hit us late in the day on the 30th. This one is scheduled to hit us somewhere on the 31st. Okay? So, judging by watching it come off the sun and seeing how far it's traveling, I don't know the exact speed of it, but what I can tell you is that it does look like it's moving at kind of a faster pace than what a normal CME would, which we would expect that with an X-class flare. Okay? Nothing's unexpected on that end of it. So, just wanted to point that out. Let me, Let me do something real quick, guys. Sorry. I want to get this back on here real quick. This helps me. Let's get that back up there. All right. We can move on now. Okay. I just want to make sure everything was cool. So, yeah. So we got that going on, obviously. And I understand that people kind of, their butt starts to pucker a little bit when we see stuff like this. Especially if you've never been a part of this before. This is all kind of new to you. I get it. I promise you I do. I 100% get it. But one thing I want to say is there is absolutely nothing to fear. Okay? Regardless of what happens anyway, we can't control it. All we can do is pay attention to what's going on around us. And if something if something bad was to happen, you try to make a good decision in the moment. And the best way to do that is to not be fearful. If you think back to the part of your life where you got scared the most, what happened? Typically, it's what I call a shock scare. Like somebody jumped out and scared you. You didn't expect them to be there. We always remember those things, right? Why do we? Because it traumatizes us just a little bit. So, with that being said, if we can get rid of the shock scare part of it, we're no longer traumatized when this stuff happens, so we're able to make a better decision. And that's the whole purpose of showing anything that I show. None of it's for fear. None of it's for clicks or views. Nothing. It's just because I want to make sure I'm doing my part in helping people understand that, it doesn't have to be the end of the world. You know what I'm saying? And if it does come down to a really big event, most likely, if there's a big event, I won't be able to come on and tell you anyway. So all this stuff I'm doing prior to a possible event later on, whenever it does happen, that's where the real work is done. That's where I can help you understand that stuff does happen so we can make a better decision when we can't get a hold of each other. That's honestly what that's really, if you get down to the nitty gritty of it, that's what we're talking about. So, yeah. Sounds like your wife. Oh, goodness. Okay. So, let me pull something else up here real quick. Where'd it go? I wanted to show you guys the Geoelectric field model. I had this pulled up earlier. Now, this is space weather's effect on our electrical grid system. Notice that you're not seeing a whole lot. You're seeing a little flashes. But our electrical grid doesn't typically get the hit from the X-ray part. Okay, yes, it can send, from the flare. Yes, it can affect it, but as you can see, even with an X-class flare, it doesn't affect geomagnetic activity that much. Now, if when the CME hits, this thing right here is probably going to be going crazy. Okay? So I just want to tell people that so when they go look at this, they're not shocked. Because you're probably going to see reds and purples, maybe even some whites. I mean, again, this is a big flare. This is a big CME, which is what this will show. So if you guys go look at these tools, please know that. Right around when this will be one of the tools that'll show up on first. We'll see it on the Aurora too. And that's another prover point here to show you that this isn't geomagnetic activity that's hitting us right now. And so let me show you the Aurora, because if it was geomagnetic activity, these Auroras would be going crazy. And they're not. Okay? So what that means is that the molecules are not being agitated. And because what happens with the Aurora, they get agitated, and as they're trying to get back to their stable state, they give off the color that they give. So yeah, moderate solar storm. Yeah, there's no lights out, guys. That's kind of what I'm saying. I don't think so. I don't think we're going to get that much. I don't want to say that much. I don't think we're going to get to the level where our grid goes down or anything like that. Now, there is I'm not the only one saying this either. There is a strong possibility that we could get to a G3 or even a G4 magnetic storm. Okay? So what does that mean? Well, let me show you. And again, guys, this is just my opinion on what could or possibly could be happening. But, even after thinking about this for a few hours, it most definitely, there's a lot of people out there that actually kind of agree with me right now. So I don't think there's much question, So if we're talking G3, I don't think we're going to get out of this without at least getting to a G3. I can't wait to see the Aurora photography after this. We could see Aurora down pretty far. I'm talking like the Midwest, maybe even into Texas and stuff. That happens, guys. So, yeah. If we get to a G4, that probably most likely will happen. Well, what's it say right here? On a G4, Aurora has been seen as low as Alabama and Northern California, right around the 45-degree geomagnetic latitude line. Okay, so if you're right around the 45-degree mark on the globe, you could, if we get to a G4, you could definitely see some Aurora. That's something that doesn't happen every day. Just saying. G4 storms only happen 100 times per cycle. That's 11 years. Okay? So, yeah. If it will go to Texas or northern Alabama, I will be able to... Cool, Garrison. Hey, you know what, guys? I would love for you guys, if you guys could take some pictures of that stuff. Man, I will show that all day long. That stuff is cool. My email's down in the description. One of my mods could probably flop it up there if they wanted to. If not, no biggie. It's down in the description. It's bluecool52@gmail.com. So, yeah. So we can, if we get a G3, you get voltage corrections. False alarms might get triggered, like on security equipment. This here is where a lot of the concern comes. If you were talking about damage, you can get some surface charging on satellites, and what that does is, guys, it causes confusion and it makes them hard to control, scared. Because what happens, though, you'll get an increased drag because of all the extra particles around, and when that happens, it'll actually slow the satellites down, so they got to correct. So when they correct that, if they've got surface charging and stuff going on, Sometimes they have an issue with that. It says drag may increase on low Earth orbit satellites. Yeah, well, that's what I just said, wasn't it? Corrections may be needed for, well, I just said that too. Orientation problems. I just said exactly what the G3 did. I didn't even read it yet, but I just know because I've looked at this enough. It just kind of comes out, I guess. Intermittent satellite navigation and low frequency radio. You guys can read that. Now, if we get to a G4, possible wide. This is the difference. You're talking about widespread stuff now. Voltage control problems. Protective systems will mistakenly trip out key assets from the grid. What that means is that basically it'll throw a breaker. Okay, the safety features on our electrical grid system, they're set up as such. If you get a certain amount of blast, I'm not going to go into electricity like voltage and amperage and all that. That's a whole nother conversation. But basically what happens is it gets overloaded and it trips the breaker. So they got to go out and reset it and all that kind of thing. It doesn't necessarily mean there's damage to the grid. It just means they got to reset some stuff. And if that wasn't there, it could do damage. That's why it's there. So be thankful for that. So you could get, surface charging. Again, same thing. Everything that can happen in a G3 plus, right? Now, I'm not saying we're going to get to a G5. Okay? I'm not going to say that because honestly, I don't think we will. Okay? Do I think there might be a possible slight outside chance that we could? Yeah, I think it's a possibility only because of how dead center this CME is coming at us. Okay? Yes, it looks like it's a big one, and it is. It definitely is significant. But for me, it's all about how compacted the plasma is when it hits us, how fast it's moving, all those kinds of things. Plus, here's the other thing we got to take in consideration. That if we do get hit the day before with that glancing blow from that other CME, it's going to do nothing but add to it. Okay? Because then you're going to have that stuff hanging around anyway, and our magnetic field won't really have a whole lot of time to readjust and get back to proper position. And it just really, it does, those little double taps that we get, man, that's when you start talking to people that really do a lot of study in this, they'll talk about that very often because it is significant. Even if the one before it's really, really small. So, when to expect this, Tam Tam? The first little glancing blow from the smaller CME is supposed to arrive sometime on the 30th, but the big one's not supposed to be here until the 31st, Halloween night. So, yeah. But if we do get to a G5, again, it doesn't mean that the grid's going to go down, okay? It just means that there's going to be issues. That's it. Voltage control problems, protective systems will shut, parts of the grid down to protect it. And once that stuff's out of there, they flip them back on. Hey, Nemesis, what's going on? Spacecraft operations. Guys, this is something we don't talk about a whole lot, and not very many people actually do. But we got to take in consideration, there's people up there in that ISS. There's people, there's people in space. They don't have quite the protection that we do down here. So that is definitely one of the things we need to pay attention to. Hey, Joe, what's going on, brother? Good to see you, man. Hope you're doing good, man. Hope you're having a good day, brother. Joe's a champ, guys. He really is. He is. He's a warrior for sure. For sure. But yeah. So. Yeah, exactly, Major. That's what you can do. I mean, we look after each other. Okay? And it's true. That's just what we need to do. Hey, good to see you, Joanna. Hey, thank you for doing such a good job moderating. I really do appreciate you. I appreciate all my moderators. Seven, you're a dude. You are a beast. Tab, there you go. Hey, I got the top notch, man. You can't beat this mod crew over here. Can't do it. It's impossible. But anyway, I just wanted to, bring this stuff to you. I am going to be going live over on the lifeboat in about 45 minutes to an hour, right around 9 o'clock. I'll be going over there to do a live show. Tommy's going to be reading another goodbye letter. Guys, these goodbye letters are crazy awesome. Okay, in the fact that they're writing a goodbye letter to their drug of choice, right? And it's like losing a family member, and I can tell you that from firsthand. So these things are really powerful. Joe did an interview. Joe Birdwell's in here. He did an interview over on the lifeboat that was amazing. He shared his story and what's going on with him. And I'm telling you guys, if you guys know anybody that has an addiction problem or is in recovery right now, just have them come over there and check it out. If you want to know more about that process and what to look for like your kids and all those kinds of things, we talk about that over there. And it's a really good thing, and it's really helping a lot of people. We've only been doing it for close to 3 months now, and we've already had a lot of people starting to get clean. We've had people, go into rehabs and stuff like that. And if you come over there, you're immediately accepted as family. And if you fall down, we pick you back up. We don't judge. Unfortunately, a lot of times with addiction, relapse is part of it. Relapse is actually part of recovery for a lot of people. I've been fortunate enough with the pill addiction I had, I've never relapsed. And the main reason is because I have a great support system. My wife is the number one I have to go to every time. She is the reason I did any of it to begin with. Then my kids and my mom and my dad, and I just got a great support system, and they weren't going to let me fail, honestly. And that was 10 years ago. So just letting you guys know that. But why I say that right now is if you come over to the lifeboat, that's the kind of support you're going to get from people that are there. If you don't have a support system where you're at, come over there. We're going to help you. I promise. Promise, promise, promise. But anyway, I know we're here to do space weather, so I didn't want to go too much on that. But I will be going live here, guys. Again, like I said, I'll tell you what I'm going to do here. Let's do this real quick. I'm going to post this in the chat. Daggone it. I hate it when I do that. Okay. Copy. Paste. Did I see Christine in here earlier? I think I did. Christine, if you're still here, good to see you. Hope you're getting moved. Hope it's all working out for you. Let me, So yeah. But and also guys, go check out Mark Pires. You guys know I talk about Mark a lot. Mark is a good friend of mine. Mark's a good friend to everybody. It's all positivity. That's why I send you guys over there. And that's also why you guys go to the lifeboat. It's all positive stuff. You're not going to get negativity. I promise. I'm not going to send you to people like that. Oh, you still packing? Yeah, that sucks. I hate that. I really do. I hate doing that. But anyway, here's the earthquakes, guys. There's not really a whole lot going on, except for, we got this one up here in the Aleutian Islands. That's a 5.1. That's significant, but nothing really much happened. We're getting the typical earthquakes that we usually see. And I know everybody's talking about La Palma. That is something we need to keep an eye on. Okay? That's all right, Tom. Good to see you. Hey, man, that always comes before any kind of internet, anything. But yeah, so we do have to keep an eye on La Palma even before this happened. Okay, everybody was watching it for legitimate reasons. Okay, like I said, we try not to do the fear thing. but we also want to talk about the real subjects, right? So that's what we're doing. And I just want you guys to understand that that's the whole point of what we do, is to spread the awareness of what's going on so we can get rid of that fear. That's all. And, I don't judge people on what they believe. I don't. You guys can have whatever theory you guys want to believe in. I will not judge you whatsoever. I won't even have an opinion on it, most likely. I'm not going to treat you any different. And I can tell you right now that nobody in this chat will either. My moderators won't let it happen. So, hey Bradley, what's up, bud? So yeah, guys, I am probably going to come back on later. I was going to touch on a few things, but I don't have the time now. Kind of went on a little bit longer than what I thought. But I did want, I wanted to make sure you guys got a chance to see this, because it is significant. Let me take you guys back to seeds real quick before we get out of here. I want you guys to see this again on this one. This is definitely a coming right at us, make your butt pucker type of stuff. But, when you see that kind of thing, we're not missing this one, is what I'm trying to say. We're not riding the pine. Coach put us in. So here we are. Guess we got to play the game, right? But anyway, guys, I am going to go ahead and go. Please come over to the lifeboat again, later on. Check out Mark Pires on Renaissance Man. You guys, he goes live every night. I mean, every day for over 1,000 days now. So go check him out. Good positivity, great music. It's original music. Comedy's awesome. Great stuff. So, there you go, Leisure boat. That's pretty cool. Pretty cool, man. All right, guys. Oh, yeah, by the way, give Leisure some prayers and good thoughts and stuff, guys. He's still trying to get better. He's at a nursing home right now. Trying to get better. So, any prayers you can give him, go do it, please. Hey, Awakening, what's up? Thank you. Yeah, guys, please, I don't ever ask this for my own channel, but I would really appreciate if you guys could, I'm trying to get, and it really doesn't matter too much to me, but I really want to get to like 50,000 subscribers. And because there's not too many YouTube channels out there that don't monetize that ever get that big. And I'm within 2,000 of that. Hey, Occam, what's up? So, any help you can give me by sharing this stuff, or, like I said, just coming back and helping me with views and all that, I appreciate it. I really do. It gets what I'm trying to push out there. It gets it out there. So, if you guys come back and leave a comment, that actually will, it helps the algorithm. If you guys hit the like or even the dislike, the algorithm doesn't see it any different. It's just traffic. So it'll put the video out there. And I know everybody's going to be talking about this event anyway. So, the more we can get people to see this stuff, the more we can help people understand. So, and that's the whole point. I know I said the 50,000 number. That's just a number, okay? I would throw that number completely away if it meant that I could have a complete connection with everybody in this room right now. It wouldn't matter to me. It really doesn't matter. What matters is the connections that we're building here and the information that we're sharing, and we're all just being here and being who we are and not treating each other like dirt like you see on other people's channels. I won't allow it here. And unfortunately, other people like to live like that, but not me. There you go. There's Mark's channel. Thanks, Christine. And there's a lot of other mods in here that have channels too, guys. Christine, Tom. I haven't seen Tom post much lately. I know Christine, she's taking a break because she's moving. Hey, Dana, what's up? Yeah, it's coming for sure. So, this is definitely something we're going to pay attention to. Oh, I wanted to, guess what else, guys? I forgot. Almost forgot. We had a sun diver. Here, I'll show it to you. See it? I'll slow it down when it pops in frame here again. Right here. Okay, now with that with that flaring CME blasting off there, I could probably pretty much guarantee you this thing didn't make it to the sun. I didn't even see it on the next day there. So you can see it rushing in there. One thing I will say, you see the angle? It wasn't going towards the center, but this is only from this one viewpoint. A lot of times these things, most of the time, they get burned up before they even get close enough to the sun to hit. So, just want to say that. But as you can see here, guys, it's cool. I like, sun divers are awesome. This is one of the cool side effects of SOHO, that satellite. They didn't expect to catch all these sun divers when they put that satellite out there. So, I mean, there's been like a bunch that this thing has seen. It's cool. So, yeah. But anyway, we're going to go ahead and get out of here. I'll probably come back on a little bit later on, give you guys another update, and let you guys know what's up. So, God bless. Yahusha saves. Thank you to all my mods and everybody that stopped in. Please like, share, subscribe. Hey, Siggy. God bless. Yahusha saves, and you can drink this Kool-Aid.